Greetings, YouTube. It's Brain Damage Gamer here, and I have a little bit more information for The Division. We're doing a little bit of an update about the state of the game. Ironically enough, I was looking for a quiet place to film this, and I actually found the exact same alley I was in last time. Go figure. But I'm doing a little bit of an update about what's going on with the game as far as what they've done for the different patches and some of the changes that have happened recently. So I figured I'd go ahead and pop into a quick overview of it, just kind of indicating what the patches have shown and what's happened to the game itself. So, first thing, they did the 1.2 patch. That patch added the new mission, as well as doing some updates and tweaks to some of the other stuff in the game. It's been an interesting patch. The new mission, instead of it being that wave-based incursion, they have just the simple go do this and however long it takes you to do it. So far, as of time of filming, it is Friday the 27th. They have not added the challenging mode on that, just hard. Hard mode you can get done in about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how careful and strong your team is. People go down, it obviously is going to slow it down, but it's not an overly challenging mission. It's just some basic go kill some stuff, pull some things here, you're done. Nothing wrong with it. I don't really have anything good or bad to say about it. You get decent gear out of it. That is one other thing that they added. They added whole new gear sets. They added the Hunter's Mark, the Lone Star, and what was the other one? Predator's Mask. They added these different gear sets that give you different abilities and different things like that. One of the nice things that they have added with this is they finally have done something for the light machine guns, the LMGs. The Lone Star in particular gives you increased damage for your light machine gun, as well as giving you the ability to instantly reload when you swap your weapon. So you see right here I've got my light machine gun out. Oh, I'm low on ammo. Instead of reloading, which takes forever, I just swap to another weapon, shoot this weapon. It's already reloaded my other ammo. I can swap back to that weapon. So theoretically, you don't ever have to stop shooting other than to swap between weapons, and it just keeps reloading them the whole time. It's actually a pretty neat little feature when you think about it. So it's kind of a cool little thing for the gear that they've added. One of the other things that they've added that I've been very happy with, frames fix. It's nowhere near as slow as it used to be. It's running significantly better. I'm not 100% sure what it was that they changed, but they did some significant performance improvements. I'm on high for all the settings, and I turned off, I think, bloom and lens flare or whatever, because those annoy me more than anything. But outside of that, I got everything on high and it's running great. I'm averaging about 70 frames per second, so can't complain about that. The other thing that they've done is for outside of the dark zone, they've finally given level 30 something to do besides just the daily missions, and that's that for the day. They have search and destroy missions where you go out and you find these little pockets of enemies and you kill them and you collect intel from them or from completing the mission. Once you get enough pieces of intel, you go back to your main base and you have these two new vendors. Well, I say vendors, they're mission vendors more than anything. You go and you can do daily or weekly high value target hunts. They give you decent gear as well as decent money for completing what you're doing. It's a great way to farm materials or cash if you're needing to reroll some of those high-end pieces. So it's been an interesting little thing to add, and it's definitely given a lot more longevity to the end game. It's not quite there yet, but they definitely have been putting thought into it, trying to add more to the game. You still have your other daily missions. Those didn't go away. Even though when they first released the patch they did, it was, oops, we forgot to put those on too. But so far, all of the changes I've seen have been great as far as what they've done. They've also added in some new weapons. Light machine gun. Again, I like running around with the light machine gun. They added this one I'm currently wearing on my back, the Hungry Hog. It's a pretty snazzy little gun in my opinion for a light machine gun. It's got decent stats and decent abilities. I'm not complaining. It's improved stability so much on this thing that it basically just barely even tries to rise while I'm shooting. If I were to actually fight it and try to keep it into place, it's not that hard to keep it into a tiny little area. And that's a lot of bullets in a tiny area very quickly. And then the instant reload. Can't complain about that. So, my thoughts on the game. Ubisoft is obviously trying to make some steps. Ubisoft Massive, I should say. They're trying to make some steps in the correct direction. They're trying to do some work on it. They released this patch on a Tuesday, and there were bugs. One of the issues that people are running into is you go to pull up your screen. your menus, and what would happen is your menus would just go nuts. You'd end up with after images everywhere. That was a huge issue for a lot of people. They had a patch out on Friday, so less than a week. They had a 1.4 gig patch out to try to correct those issues. It seems to have done so. I'm not sure if they did anything on their end to stop hacking, but I've run around a lot in the Dark Zone. I've died a few times, killed some people that were rogue, had some fun with a little bit of the PvP. I didn't see any hackers. Now, I don't know if that's because they couldn't get in or they just didn't. I'm not sure which it is. But I didn't see any, which is hopeful. Maybe they did finally do something about it. I don't know. They didn't do any changes to the reporting tool, though. That's still kind of disappointing. I haven't had a chance to report anybody, but I kind of did a check on it, and it does pretty much the same thing it did before. I don't really know if they're ever going to do anything about that, but as of right now, they haven't. So I will say this. The game has gone from one I'm no longer recommending to one that I'm kind of on the fence about recommending. It's kind of in that mid-ground now. I'm still not 100% happy with the state of the game. There's still some things that they could probably tweak and adjust in order to make it a little bit better for everyone that's playing it. But I'm seeing changes, which is important. The people developing the game are paying attention to the people playing the game. Because if we're not having fun, who's going to fill your MMO world? And if that's the case, what's the point in keeping the game even up? So I did want to kind of do a little bit of an update to everybody, kind of letting them know what's going on as far as, those minor changes they've made. They did do a bunch of other stuff. I can throw a link down below. That way people can, go look at the actual change log themselves if they want to. But I will say this, if you already own the game, go give it a check out. It's worth looking at again if you already own the game. Because they've made enough changes that I'm having fun, even if I don't go do PvP in the Dark Zone. And when you're at level 30, that's kind of all you had before. But anyway, so that's just some of my thoughts and a little bit of an update about what's going on with the game. If anybody has any thoughts, concerns, things that they'd like to talk about the game or anything like that, feel free to throw it down in the comments below. I am always interested to see what other people think about, changes like this and see if they've given up on the Division or if they're still playing it. But as always, I am the Brain Damage Gamer, and thanks again for watching. Game on.